welcome back to the Good Screen Podcast
with Lauren
and Russell. Today we have an exciting third part of OctOgre Fest.
3.
Shrektober. We watched the movie.
We did.
And we have words to say.
Many?
Turn
off your phone.
My phone notification's on. Oh no. Oh. The reason why my mom asked for a picture of us earlier is because Nana is seeing her sister and her brother.
Oh.
And she wants pictures to show.
Oh.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that was
fine.
strange.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about Shrek 3 today.
Yes.
The one we've definitely seen the least. I've seen the least. You've seen maybe once.
Once or twice as a kid. Some of it I recollected.
Recollected.
Some of it I did not. I knew she had the babies.
The baby.
The baby? Da Vinci?
Da Vinci? So, it's your turn to do the summary of the whole movie, Lauren.
Okay.
For anyone who hasn't seen it so they can be caught up with this podcast. You ready?
Let me clear my throat first.
Okay.
The dinner made me really phlegmy.
Okay.
We had taco bowls.
We did.
For anyone curious.
Taco Thursday.
Taco Thursday. Okay, so
Oh.
summary. Ew.
I drank a beer.
Summary.
Yeah.
This takes place like right after the last one again.
Does it?
It seems like it.
Okay.
Pretty soon after. The king is dying. On his deathbed, he tells Shrek, either you're the next king or you go find the other heir and his name's Arthur. And Shrek says, okay, I'm gonna do that. The king dies. Shrek goes to find the Arthur. Before he does, Fiona says she's pregnant and Shrek is like, oh no. So then he goes and finds Arthur and hijinks ensue. And meanwhile, while he's finding Arthur, Prince Charming is back again and he has joined forces with all of the villains in Far, Far Away, like quote unquote villains, to overthrow the government and the kingdom.
Wow.
And so Fiona and the other princesses and the queen, no, she's not Jamie Lee Curtis.
What?
What's her name?
I don't remember.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews.
Are like, no, this isn't gonna work. This isn't it. Not it. And so they figure out a way, they start planning a way to stop that. So Shrek comes back with Arthur eventually. And when they get back, they get captured by Prince Charming. Shrek it does, yes. And Prince Charming is throwing this like elaborate play, and the climax is when he's gonna kill Shrek. And so the play starts, and Shrek comes out from under the stage, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then all the princesses and Fiona come out, and they're like, no, you're fucking not. And they stop Prince Charming from killing Shrek, and Shrek gives this speech about how, Arthur gives this speech to the villains about how you're only what you make of yourself, so just don't be a villain if you don't want to be a villain, the end. And then Arthur becomes king, because even though he's like a dweebish high school kid, he's like, yeah, I can do this. And then Fiona pops 3 little ogres out of her orgussy, and they have babies, and Shrek is happy about it because he's overcome his fear of being a father. The end.
All right, well, that does it for OctOgre Fest number 3.
Yeah.
For Shrek 3, yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty much the whole movie.
Yeah.
You did say that Shrek comes out and tries to kill him. You meant to say Prince Charming. Shrek wasn't behind the stage.
Oh, you knew what I meant.
Yeah.
You all knew.
But other than that was pretty perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So what were your thoughts on this, seeing it in full for the first time in a while?
Yeah, first time in like 10 years maybe.
Okay, what were your thoughts on it?
I liked it. I didn't hate it. I thought the story was okay.
Yeah.
The main theme of the whole, I was about to say game. The main theme of the movie is like how to move past your fears and um
Be the better person.
be the bigger person. Other people's thoughts don't decide you.
Yeah.
I don't know the verbiage.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like just because other people say you're a bad person.
Be true to yourself.
Be the person you want to be.
But Shrek didn't want to be a father, but yeah.
Yeah, but
This movie was less about Shrek.
yeah, it was less about Shrek and more about everything else.
Shrek was like the guiding character, and then he was like captured at the end.
The only thing about Shrek really was because he was scared of being a father because he had a bad father, so he didn't want to be a bad father, and he was like, I just want to be a bad father.
Wow, yeah, he got over that really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this in the movie theater
Hmm.
and being completely whelmed.
Whelmed?
Yes, I saw this with John, and
Of course you did.
and I just remembered we were just like, yeah, that was all right. And I remember we saw it with his parents, and
Oh,
they
great.
were like, we didn't like the music. The music was a little
That's because John's mom is a very special woman.
Yeah, we'll talk about John and his adolescence eventually, I'm sure.
Someday it'll come up.
Maybe not. That's kind of rude. We probably shouldn't talk unless we have him on.
Well,
yeah.
let's just say
he had a funny upbringing.
She didn't believe in video games.
Her life was not like a video game.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I remember just like kind of being like, okay, that wasn't as good as Shrek 2.
I liked the soundtrack a little bit more than, because remember we were talking about how Shrek 1 is better at incorporating it, and you said Shrek 2 you felt like it was a little too forced. This one I felt like they toned it down a little.
I felt like they toned it down, like the songs a little, but the songs, like when they played, I don't know, they just nothing.
I liked the Barracuda part.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
I was fucking right.
yeah.
It is both Immigrant Song and Barracuda. I knew they were both in it.
I don't know why they did that. I thought it was weird they did 2 songs in a row like that, like just a little bit of the Immigrant Song, like they couldn't get the rights to the whole song. But yeah, I don't know, the soundtrack. I even wrote something down like this for the soundtrack in the movie. I said it still rips, but it doesn't seem as concise.
Like it was a bit too just
like
generalized.
it was just kind of there. And by this point, other movies were doing the Shrek thing with the music
other
too.
movies had picked up on it. They figured it out.
And I think another part of the reason why I didn't enjoy it, or this one wasn't received as well, and I did look this up, is that it did have a different director.
Oh.
Totally different director. Like the first one had like co-directors. The second one had one of those co-directors and another director.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one had like 3 different new directors.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that the original guy like left DreamWorks and started like, I don't know, maybe he started Illumination or something.
I doubt it.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah.
He would be responsible for Minions. Well, not really. Like he just directed the movie, but
okay.
Yeah. So I was kind of correct in that
it was different.
as time goes on, we're not really getting the same creative vision.
That happens with every long series. Every single Twilight movie had a different director.
Yeah.
I think they all should have been Catherine Hardwicke, but they all would have stayed blue.
I think that things should end when they're at their their peak. A lot of things keep going until the steam runs out, which I feel like is what's going to be the case with Shrek 4.
We'll see. I know nothing about Shrek 4.
I don't either.
I think this is the one where either Shrek or Fiona wants to learn more about ogre culture. And I just remember seeing advertisements of Fiona in this like Viking-esque outfit with her hair all down, and she's like girl bossing.
She kind of girl bossed in this one too.
She girl bossed majorly.
Yeah.
She did all that while she was pregnant.
The tone of this movie was definitely a lot different than the first 2.
Yeah.
Although I would say they were all a lot different, but and in ways it kind of reminded me of the first movie in which Shrek was going to get someone that didn't want to come with him.
Yeah, I got that a lot too.
Yeah, and then he found out that Shrek was deceiving him. and then he was mad at him, and then they became friends at the end.
Yeah, it was kind of like the same thing.
It was kind of like like the first movie, but all the characters were.
They were like, "Hey,
introduced.
it worked the first time.
So
what if we like remasked it?"
Yeah, and like the only character that they introduced was
Booth.
Well, Puss in Boots was in this movie already. He was in the second movie. He was introduced.
I thought you meant in terms of like compared to the first one.
No, the only one that they introduced was Arthur and Merlin, but Merlin was kind of like a joke character.
Yeah, well, he helped a lot.
I think that I don't know. Even like the beginning of this movie just felt like they were kind of like beating a dead horse with Prince Charming. I'm being very critical of this movie.
You are.
It's a children's movie.
Well, that's why I thought that it took place right after the last one and very soon after the last one.
At least a few months.
Yeah, within the last couple months of the last one, because Fairy Godmother was still dead.
Yeah.
And he was still very upset about it. And he was like, well, Shrek killed my mom, so I'm gonna kill Shrek.
I think it would have been...
That's basically what happened.
Yeah. I think it would have been a cooler movie if they would have just said, no, King Arthur, or Prince, whatever, little boy Arthur, Artie. And it would have been, like, the whole movie was Shrek struggling with becoming king.
And he gave it to Prince Charming.
And then, no, let me finish. And then, at the end, when Prince Charming tried to take over the open throne, he decided he would be king. And then it ended with Shrek becoming king. I think that would have been a much better, like, story. It probably wouldn't have been as long.
That sounds extremely different to the other movies. There's no whimsy in that.
Well, there could have been whimsy. Like, maybe Shrek wasn't, he was in line to be king, but he wasn't worthy to be king, and he had to get the sword and the stone or something.
Oh,
like something like he had to go through like a
trial
or something, and while he's going on this trial,
he finds the sword.
Well, yeah, but then Prince Charming overthrows the kingdom while he's on his trial, and he has to come back.
Oh, and he comes back,
and he like gives up from the trial.
Oh.
And then he comes back, or I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go.
He put up a trial for himself or something. He's like, I don't feel like I deserve it, so I need to do something so I deserve it.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any like questions?
I did have one question. So in this movie, I guess some new characters that are introduced that are just kind of like there because they're fairy tale characters are the princesses.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to all their princes? Because Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Rapunzel are just like bachelorettes.
I didn't take them as bachelorettes.
Well, there's one Prince Charming and he's evil. Like, where were their princes?
There's only one prince.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of ties in with my question that I had, because my question was also about the princesses.
What was your question?
My question was like, how do they work?
How do they work?
Yeah, let me explain. Okay, like how do the princesses? This is more specifically focused on the princesses' work, right? And I guess every other fairy tale character.
Yeah.
Because like all the fairy tale characters exist.
Right.
So like, assuming they die, because like the king died.
Yeah.
So assuming when they die, do they get like reincarnated and their story happens again? So there's always a Cinderella, or is there like a lineage?
I think this plays into
like their daughter is going to be the next Cinderella.
I think that this plays into the fact that the series is going on longer than they originally planned.
Yeah.
And it's starting not to make any sense.
well, mine still kind of makes sense though, because like say like how the king died.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a new frog prince that's going to be born?
I don't know.
And it's like a reincarnation type thing, or even with the princesses, like how Rapunzel was bald.
She was bald.
She was secretly bald.
Yeah.
And so is she like maybe just
fake?
No, not fake. What's it called?
Alopecia?
No, not alopecia. Is she like a part of like the Rapunzel family or something? Is she currently the one that's like
supposed to be Rapunzel?
Like being Rapunzel, like representing Rapunzel?
I don't know. I honestly don't think they thought this far.
I'm thinking for them.
You're thinking for them? How I created a better ending to the movie?
Yeah.
You're creating a lore to Shrek?
Yeah, I'm creating lore. I feel like the reincarnation thing works.
Okay.
I feel like it works.
Well, then what happens to? Well, I guess Shrek is having kids, but one of those 3 kids can't be Shrek. There's only going to be
Well,
one
no, when
Shrek.
Shrek dies, then another Shrek is born. It has to be until he dies. That's how
I don't know.
reincarnation works.
Yeah.
You know you're reincarnated before you die.
Okay. I don't. Yeah, I honestly don't think that they have this planned out.
So, like, the frog prince is dead now.
Yeah.
So, like, now there's going to be a new frog prince born eventually, and the story's going to happen again.
And somehow his nephew is Arthur, even though Arthur
Existed a long time ago.
existed before that.
Because there's even, like, references to Camelot in other spots, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that fast food place in 2 was called, like, Camelot's or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're getting too deep into it.
No, we're writing the history
We're writing the history. So
Yeah.
in the beginning, there was a field of grass and a fairy godmother. Well, then what happens to the fairy godmother? She's gone.
She'll come back as a different one.
And be voiced by Meryl Streep or something.
Hell yeah, that'd be sexy.
Do you have any more things written down?
No, it was literally just the princess thing, and I was right.
Wow. Not much there.
No.
Yeah, so...
It's only been... it's not even been 20 minutes.
Wow.
Well, I already said everything I wanted to say.
You said everything you wanted to say?
That's pretty much
It's
it.
because all we've been doing is talking about Shrek. Last time we kept talking about other shit. Ugh.
Wow.
What did you think about how the musical number at the end... I need a drink. Holy moly. What did you think about the musical number at the end?
Are you just getting up and walking away?
Yeah, I'm just getting up and walking.
Well, it tied in with, like, because there was the part that I didn't discuss about how, like, so when Merlin, he helps them get back to far, far away by, like, slash TPing them, basically. But when that happens, because he, like, jokes about, like, there might be some side effects, haha, and then he does it. And Donkey and Puss switch bodies, and then at the end he fixes their bodies, but their tails are different. So yeah. I think that last song, the credit song, was purely just referencing that.
What was the credit song again?
Oh fuck, what was it? It was like something about thank you for letting me be myself again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all that was about.
Okay. I think that the whole donkey subplot in this one was completely...
There was no subplot for Donkey.
Yeah.
He was just there.
He just got swapped with Puss in
Even
Boots.
Puss, he was just also there, but yeah. I love Puss in Boots.
It just felt like they were focused on one part of the story and, like... ignored everyone else.
Yeah.
Until they need to be there. And I also noticed that this kind of had the same, not the same, but like less epic version of the ending of Shrek 2 where everyone has to storm into the castle and save Shrek this time. But it's not as cool because there's not the giant gingerbread man and they just kind of just walk in.
There's no epic singing going on.
No singing going on. Like the build up, there was no build up. It was just him.
Well, that part of Shrek 2 was what makes that part my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part is so epic.
Yeah.
And in this one, it was just like him reading a play.
Yeah, it was Prince Charming putting on a shitty play. Although the production value, it was there.
Sure. I don't know. I understand. Going into this movie, I thought, I think people give this movie too much trouble. Rap. But as soon as he died and said, you had to go get my cousin Arthur
well, he didn't say you had to do it. Shrek was like, I don't want to fucking do this. Who else can do this?
Okay, whatever. Like, as soon as he died and said, hey, if you don't want to do this, get my nephew Arthur or something. That's when it, like, kind of just, like, whamp.
Whamp.
Yeah.
Whamp.
Yeah.
Does that mean that Arthur's parents are frogs?
I have no clue, Lauren. I'm telling you, they did not think
also,
jack shit about this movie.
I was thinking, this might be like an abandoned subplot, but so Arthur's dad left.
Yes.
And he looks a lot like Prince Charming. You didn't notice that?
What?
Do you think Prince Charming could be his dad?
I think Prince Charming's a virgin.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. I just thought they looked too much alike.
They do look a lot alike.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe, well, we haven't seen the fourth one. Maybe that's touched upon in the fourth movie.
Maybe, I don't know. I think the fourth one mostly focuses on Fiona and Shrek, though.
Yeah.
Because now they're distanced from the kingdom. They don't have to do shit there
now
anymore.
they don't have to go back anymore.
Yeah.
I just think it would have been cool if maybe when Shrek was on his journey to get the Sword in the Stone, Prince Charming was trying to get it too.
Oh, it was like a race?
Like, yeah, so it was like a race.
Yeah.
And then he got it.
He got
because,
it first.
like, Shrek had to save
maybe
Donkey or something.
Maybe when they get to the Sword and the Stone, they both get there. No, I was going to say they both get there at the same time. And there's, like, this epic battle.
Oh.
And then, like, at the end, like at one point, like, Prince Charming is trying to pull out the sword or something when Shrek's coming at him. But then he, like, stumbles back and then Shrek pulls it out.
Wow.
He's like, whoa.
Well, what if, like, here we go. I'm just writing the end of this movie.
Let's just write a fanfic about what happened instead of this movie.
All right, let me start over.
DreamWorks, if you fucking steal this idea,
they can't
kill you.
Anyway. So here, let me start from the beginning, okay?
Okay.
Same beginning until the king dies.
Yes.
The king goes, Shrek, you have to become king, or else the far, far away will
like you have to
fall into
yourself.
darkness. Let me tell my story. So, Shrek goes to...
I was making a sad face.
So, because you keep interrupting me. Yeah. So he goes, Shrek, you have to become king, because if you...
That's my foot.
That was your foot. Because if you don't become king, far, far away will be... the magic will go away or whatever, something like that. And he goes, I really don't want to be king.
That sounds fucking nothing like him. But okay.
I don't really want to be king, Dad.
Alright, I guess that's terrible.
And then Donkey and Puss in Boots are like, oh, you have to become... I'm not going to do donkey voice. Donkey's like, oh, we'll come with you. You know, we'll go on another adventure. And
well, then they could be like the Three Musketeers. There could be a Three Musketeers joke there.
Yeah, and then they go out on the ship, and it's all the same. Leaving the ship, Fiona says she's pregnant, and then they go on this adventure. Like, things happen, and then the B plot is Prince Charming finds out that the king died, and he goes, but he still gets all of his villains together, right? And then he goes to wherever the sword is on Mount Hoo-Ha or whatever, and they have this adventure, and they're on time. Like, they have a certain amount of days to get the sword.
Yeah. And
they're on time and everything, but then, like, there's a trap set for them by Prince Charming because he knows that Shrek is going to get the sword. And when the trap, Donkey falls in the trap or whatever, and, like, there's goblins or something, and Shrek has to save him from these goblins. And then he saves him, but then when he gets to the sword, Prince Charming's already there, but he can't get it out. And they make a joke about that.
Can't get it up or
Can't
something.
Get it up or something like that. They make a joke about it, but then all the villains come around and they take the whole plot of land and bring it back to the castle.
They take the whole fucking dirt?
They take the whole dirt in, like, a flying machine or something. And
or they just dig it out.
Yeah, and they dig it out. They dig the whole thing out and they fly it back to far, far away. And then Fiona is there with everyone. And Fiona pulls it out.
Holy shit!
And Prince Charming still gets a tower falling on him, but it's a cool tower. Like, he sieged the city,
like a real tower.
Like the clock tower or something.
Okay.
But then Shrek comes back and there's, like, a duel, and then while they're dueling, Fiona takes the sword out.
That's fucking
You're welcome,
legit.
DreamWorks.
Yes! That would have been so much cooler.
And then she has babies.
And then she still has babies.
Yeah, she has little princes.
Except now I guess they're king and queen, and they have... Well, one of them's a girl.
Yeah.
They have babies, and she's the fucking queen.
I think one of the problems with Shrek is that they always want him...
Cool.
They always want him to go back to being an ogre. So the whole point of the second movie is him wanting to go back. And the whole point of this movie is him wanting to go back when he needs to accept responsibility. I think...
It would have been a really good thing to step up. Because he'd step up to be a father and be king.
And be king, yeah. No fucking Prince Art. I'm going to knock this over if I keep... I'm doing hands.
Lots of hands.
All right, Lauren. How would you have made the end of this movie?
I like yours. I don't even know what the fuck I was going to say. I like yours a lot better where Fiona pulls it out. Yeah. And she's like queen. And Shrek's also king, but she
has the sword.
She's the one with the fucking pants.
She's blood.
Yeah.
A blood child.
Yeah, I
of
guess.
the king.
Well, no, she was just the one deemed worthy.
Yeah.
No, I think it'd be cooler because then Fiona could be like queen, kind of like I guess Game of Thrones, how like there's a queen, but the king's also kind of there, but it's like it's the queen doing everything, you know?
Like in England.
Yeah, just like in England. She's the queen, and then Shrek's still king, but she like does all the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I would love that.
That would be even more girl boss than her having a beard.
Yeah.
And shaving. Yeah, and then the B plot with Fiona would be like, I don't know.
I guess the B plot with Fiona could be her still doing similar things.
Yeah.
Like while that's happening, the castle's also being invaded or something.
Yeah.
Or she's very pregnant and she goes into labor. And she has to do all this while she's in fucking labor.
No,
that'd be too much.
That'd be too much for a kid's movie. No, like she's like hardly pregnant.
She's like
in the whole movie.
barely into the first trimester in the movie. It's like you can tell she like just found out like a day before or something. How do you even the pregnancy test in Shrek? Or did she pee on a rabbit and it died?
I don't.
That's
really...
an old way to tell if you were pregnant.
They have all those.
And apparently
potions
it's pretty
and stuff.
accurate.
Peeing on a rabbit.
Yeah, if you piss on a rabbit and it dies, you're pregnant.
What if I pee on a rabbit and it dies?
Then something's fucking wrong. It's something like that. And it holds up. Because it's something in your urine changes when you're pregnant, and that's why you do the pregnancy test in the pee. And there's something about that, it fucking kills the rabbit.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, it's an old wives' tale, but it holds up. It's pretty accurate, honestly.
That's very strange.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, now at this point, Shrek is a big hit, and I think this starts like the decline of Shrek.
Well, there's only one more Shrek.
Yeah.
There's more Puss in Boots movies, which I also want to watch eventually.
Oh, we'll circle back next
Because there's
October.
like 3 of them now?
There's one of them now.
No,
there's a TV show.
No, there was a movie.
Yeah, there's a movie, but there's only one.
So this is the second Puss in Boots that's coming out?
There might have been a TV show.
We're not going to watch that.
Puss in Boots.
I could have swore there was 2 Puss in Boots movies.
Oh, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish comes out December 21st.
Yeah, I want to go see that.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now, okay?
Okay.
There is the 2011 film Puss in Boots.
Oh, yeah?
There is... Oh. That's it. And The Last Wish, which is the new one. So...
Russell's phone fell in a very comedic way.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it. We made our points about Shrek. We didn't have anything else to really talk about this time.
We should have watched the minisodes. We could have talked about that too.
We have another. We can do that next year.
Yes.
We need to have OctOgre Fest again, right?
OctOgre Fest every year.
Yeah, every year until we run out of Shrek content.
We just find other ogre movies that aren't Shrek.
I thought by next year, if we were doing like video stuff, that we could do OctOgre Fest with the games.
Ugh.
Like a Game Center CX thing.
Sounds exhausting.
It does sound exhausting. All right. You're no fun. I really want the podcast to go into a video. Not the podcast, but like a separate YouTube thing.
Yeah, well, that would require me not being as busy as I am.
Yeah. Well, I could do most of it myself, but I'd really like you to be there.
Yeah, I'd like to be there.
So yeah, tell us what you all think about Shrek the Third.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe write in how you would have made your fan fiction.
Yeah, tell us how you want Shrek 3 to have gone instead of how it went.
Yeah. We'll see if anyone else's holds up to mine.
Yours was really good.
If we get a lot of them, we can just have them all at the end of the 4th. The next one's going to be a full featured...
An actual episode. Because neither of us have ever seen Shrek 4.
Because we've never seen it, so next week... Well, not next week, but like the next Friday into Monday, 2 full-length good screens in a row.
Yep.
So get ready for that.
Woo.
And just to let everyone know, is that your foot again?
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Rubbing my foot on the ground.
Oh, you have like hospital shoes on.
These are half slippers.
They have like the grippies on them.
I'll show you grippies.
Yeah, so next Monday, or this upcoming Monday, we are going to do Trick or Treat. And then next Friday is Shrek Forever After.
Oh yeah, it is called Forever After. Oh wait! I do remember part of this one.
Oh. Well, I don't. I've never seen it.
This is the one with Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
Is there a 5th Shrek?
No. There's only 4.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're going to go see that, and we hope you all enjoyed this kind of short episode of OctOgre Fest.
I think this is the shortest episode we've ever made.
It's the shortest, but we only talked about Shrek.
Will love this episode.
Will absolutely love this. All right, well, everyone, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.